We are in Alpine, Utah this morning, and we're here to ski a run called Heaven's Halfpipe. And this is a ski run that Christoph and I have been looking at since we were youngsters. Today should be about 10 miles with 5,000 feet of vert, and the snow conditions should be excellent because it just snowed for 4 days straight. So it's going to be a good day, probably. It's a beautiful January morning. 3 giant storms have just passed through Utah. Ever since high school, I've looked up here at what's called Heaven's Halfpipe and wanted to ski it. And we decided that today would be the day we did that. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, we are not the only ones up here. Fortunately, because they put in a skin track, cutting our effort by like 80%. But unfortunately, because we might have to talk to strangers, but I think we'll still be stoked to be able to ski this run that we've been looking at for so long. We're headed up the cool part now after battling the trees. And now we're gonna go out into the pipe itself. And hopefully these people go to a different run. But the snow is amazing. It has snowed 3 feet up here in the last week. For every Mount Adams or Ivapaw, we usually have 2 or 3 other smaller objectives that we do to keep us motivated. Just the other week, we did another one of these pocket-sized adventures, and we were able to make a winter ascent of a peak that we've been looking at and ski it. This is just how you stay motivated when it's dark and cold. The mountains are covered with snow, by having little goals that you can check off from time to time and work towards. We always have a list of 5 to 10 places we'd like to go at any given time. And then where we go depends on the elements and their cooperation. For example, today the avalanche danger is really high. We couldn't do some of the steeper things we wanted to do, but this whole slope is very gradual and it's not very likely it's going to avalanche. So it worked out fine. We had beautiful weather. You also need brand new snow to ski this and enjoy it. And it's low angle, which means it's not going to avalanche. All the elements lined up today and pointed to doing this as the objective of the week.
We're here right below the top of the ridge of that starts Heaven's Halfpipe, and we're pretty excited because this is a run we've both looked at, since high school. You can see it from the valley floor, and just about everybody who looks up here thinks, man, that probably would be awesome to ski. We've gotten to an elevation where basically, according to the avalanche report, all aspects are high avalanche danger, meaning it's likely that they'll be human triggered, if not natural avalanches.
And from here, we're going to ski down. We didn't want to go any higher because the avalanche danger is blood red, and there was no way to get to that ridgeline without going through 30 degrees or steeper. Someone's gonna come up here and look at our track and just wonder what the heck we were doing. But we were just trying to be safe. It wasn't worth the 3 turns we were going to get by putting ourselves in danger.
I have been in the pain locker for probably the past 30 minutes on this last climb. Danny has successfully beat me into the ground. So that makes for a all-around successful outing when I've sweat through at least 3 headbands and a hat. I'm just ready to ski. That was great. So, I mean, that was kind of a bucket list. That's one we've both wanted to do for a long, long time. Saw a lot of people, that was the only downside, but man, I thank heaven for that skin track, I'll tell you what. That saved me today.
All right, we just wrapped up Heaven's Halfpipe, and it was as cool as I always imagined. We actually did it twice. It was so nice. Now we can move on to the next little objective or big objective. But this is kind of how we fight off the January ho-hums by days like this.